Hello, welcome to Liz Rocks and Stuff. I'm Liz. This is episode 142 of What's in My Tumbler. We are starting off with Sardonyx. So the Sardonyx is coming out of stage 3, going into final polish. I'm not doing a stage 3.5 with this because this is a hard enough rock. It's not going to need it. So we are going to get everything rinsed off. And then we are going to check for broken or chipped rocks. Now, I believe I said last week that it is extremely rare that I ever find anything that is chipped or broken. That this is merely just a bit of a precaution, and it is. It really is. You can probably go back in my videos and count on one hand the number of times that I have found a broken rock. But I found one this time, so you'll get to see what I do about that, which is basically just take it out. But anyway, as I was going through this, I saw one that I was like, that looks like it's broken. And then I just put it in anyway. And then at the very end here, that little tiny piece there, I was like, okay, well, that's the other half that's clearly broken. And I think this is a piece of smoky quartz. It's dark and black, but like, I think it's smoky quartz. And so, this is me digging through trying to find that rock that I just saw that is the other half of this. So, enjoy the top of my head here. My hair is not that color anymore because I'm in the middle of changing it. But anyway, so there's the other half of the rock. I'm going to put it together. You can see fits together quite nicely. And these aren't sharp, but I'm not going to leave them in anyway, so I'm just going to put those off to the side, and those are going to go in a different batch as filler at some point. So now we are going to put this in a wash cycle. So a tablespoon of ivory soap, and then tumble this for a few hours. This tumbled for about 6 hours or so. After that soap cycle, we're going to open this back up. And I think I need to replace the seal on this one. It's not sealing really super well. It isn't leaking yet, but I don't think it's too far off from leaking. Anyway, so we're going to give this a rinse. And then just put everything back in the barrel. Already did the inspection. We know everything that's left in here is good. And then we're going to do water, final polish, so 3 tablespoons of final polish and a tablespoon of borax. And then this is ready to go back on the tumbler for a week. So I'm opening this up for suggestions if anybody has any ideas. So my dad is putting together a Earth Day event down in my hometown. Oh, moving on to Mozambique Agate. This is in stage 1 still, so we're just going to be seeing if anything's ready to move on to stage 2. So he's asked me to come and do like a little table setup to talk about rock tumbling. I have no intentions of talking about rocks because we all know I know nothing about rocks. But I'm planning to kind of have a few little displays out. So one, I'm going to have all of the stages of my amethyst as it's going from like rough, a couple in stage 1, 2, 3, 4, to show kind of the progress of tumbling. I'm going to have one display that is a local rocks from my backyard, basically, that I've polished, and also some rough to show what those kind of look like. So we can, there's nothing but really quartz where I live anyway. But and then one display is going to be just kind of an assortment of rocks, different kind, like different Jaspers, different agates, some obsidian, just some different things, different other types of rocks that are out there. But any other suggestions that you guys think would be fun for an Earth Day event to talk about rocks and rock tumbling with? I am going to have some of my rocks that I'm going to give away. So like I said, we all know I know nothing about rocks. Everything I know about rocks I learned from Michael, man. The comments that he gives me are great. So if you guys have any other suggestions, my dad's actually helping me make the displays, and he's said he's willing to make some more, but those are the 3 that I have planned. So any other suggestions would be great. Anyway, thanks. So back to the Mozambique Agate. Still, some of these just have little druzy pockets that aren't going to tumble out. But they also have other little fine cracks and things that I'm going to try and get very smooth. This is starting, my impatience is starting to get to me with this batch. So, what you see, the rocks that I'm putting off to the side, those are not the agates. Those are the filler rocks that I've put in that are ready to go on to stage 2. I don't want to mix them in with the agates because I can use them for other stuff if I need to. So I'm just pulling those off to the side. They're not going in the cup. There's probably some other things in that cup I need to pull out as well, but anything you see me putting off to the side and not in the cup is filler rocks that are ready to move on to stage 2 if I need them to. So everything else that's in the barrel needs more time in stage 1. Everything that's going in the cup is ready for stage 2 as per usual. All right, so now we are going to just put this back into stage 1. So we're going to add, so this is medium mixed rocks. So I've been putting the smalls that I have in, and I do have plenty more smalls. That was another handful of smalls, but I wanted to mix up the sizes. So I added some medium mixed and some small mixed. So this is now 3 tablespoons of stage 1 grit, tablespoon of borax, and this is ready to move on for a week. Well, not moving on, tumble for a week in stage 1. Slowly but surely, eventually, these agates will be ready to move on, but they are going to test me first. All right, Unakite. This is also in stage 3. By the way, the nature photos, that's about all the snow we're going to get this year. That was from the snowstorm we had last weekend. That's all the snow that we're going to get. If you didn't know that I live in a very warm place, now you do. We don't even normally get snow. Anyway, so this is Unakite. It is in stage 3, also going into stage 4 because it's hard enough. It does not need a medium stage 3.5 cycle. So we are going to, again, check everything, make sure nothing is chipped or broken. This is mostly Unakite, but it does have some quartz and a little bit of opal as filler. I was wanting to retumble a lot of my quartz anyway, so that's what I was throwing it in at other batches so that it would have time to be retumbled and not have to set up like a whole batch of just quartz. So once that's done, we're going to put all the media back in, and I really need to clean my media out. I've got lots of little rock chips in there. There was some obsidian. Now, once we get it all in the barrel, we're going to do a wash cycle. And then, so that's going to be a tablespoon of ivory soap. And I need to make a note that I need to grate up some more ivory soap because I'm running low. I also need to get some more borax because also running low on that. But anyway, so this is going to tumble for a few hours, just like the Sardonyx tumbled for about 6 hours. And then we are going to give it a rinse. All right, putting everything back in the barrel. And then we are going to do water, borax, and 3 tablespoons of polish. And then that is going to tumble for a week. And then finally, we have the Dead Camel Jasper, also known as the 2026 Tumbling Competition Rocks. So this is, again, my second string. Still working through those. They're actually tumbling pretty easily. I'm cautiously optimistic about these. So we are going to give them a rinse. And I did decide there's that big piece in here that really if I was not tumbling this for a competition that included rules, I would just break it. And I know I can resize rocks, but that's just too big, and I'm just going to move it off to the side. I'll tumble it later. I'm just wanting to make sure that I don't break any rules, especially since I'm putting this out on the internet. So I know that I could break it, and that would probably be okay by the rules. I'm just going to leave it out. I have plenty of other rocks. There's no reason for me to start including that. So everything in here still needs more time. That's not surprising at all, but it is looking very good. And there's some really cool looking pieces in here. But pulled that big piece out, so I need to add more. That chunk, also too big. So we're just going to put it off to the side. And then that's the last of my stage, or my second string rocks that's going in here. After this, I'll start adding my first string rocks, but for now, this is all second string. So that's going to get 3 tablespoons of stage 1 grit and a tablespoon of borax, and then this is ready to go on the tumbler for another week. So thanks for watching. Hope to see you all back next week. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I am 150 users away from being monetized, and that is insane to me. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you all back next week.